Does the Giants' success rely solely on Barkley?
Oh, no. No. Barkley's important. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's electrifying when healthy. That doesn't absolve the Giants from their concerns in regards to Daniel Jones. He still can't hold on to the ball. He's still primed for fumbles. I mean, what is it, 29 in 2 years, Max? Something along those lines. Had 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions last year, threw for under 3,000 yards, completed 62% of his passes. Not exactly numbers to write home about, but when you think about the amount of times he gets sacked, the kind of pressure they're going to place on him, a lot of times when you see teams, usually they just want to get at the quarterback. You know what? You might scare him a little bit. He might throw an errant pass, interception, that kind of thing. With Daniel Jones, these guys go after him because they are looking to strip the football because he is not somebody that holds on to the football. They're supposedly working on that. We should expect improvement this year, but I got to see it to believe it. He's where their success rides right now. It's about Daniel Jones, much, much more than it's about Saquon Barkley, particularly when you consider the fact that Darius Slayton is there now. Obviously, that guy Kenny Golladay from Detroit is there now as well, Max. With the weapons that they have available to them, what good is it if Daniel Jones can't hold on to the football?
Well, I can't say, Molly, that Barkley is solely a healthy Barkley.
I think I added solely to the question.
Well, okay, let's take solely out.
Yeah.
Then the answer is yes. Saquon Barkley is the key because of what you identify about Daniel Jones, Stephen A. Saquon Barkley is the key to getting the most out of Daniel Jones this year. Look, Daniel, when you have a quarterback who can run it and throw it, and Daniel Jones can, let's not forget, Stephen A. Joe Judge came out and said that 90% of players who suffered the injuries that Daniel Jones suffered last year to a lower extremity, he had the high ankle sprain and the hammy, would not have played. They'd have been on the IR. Daniel Jones, a tough guy. Like Eli, by the way, tough guy. Played through it. The problem is this. Daniel Jones is a really mobile quarterback. The guy's real fast. And that's a big part of his game. And without that, behind not a good offensive line, without a threat out of the backfield to catch passes or really run the ball, he was a sitting duck. That's why he didn't look good. Now, Saquon Barkley comes back. Let's not forget, as a rookie, the man had over 2,000 yards from scrimmage and 15 touchdowns. 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns as a rookie. Now, what does that do for a guy like Daniel Jones, who's a threat to run it or throw it, when you have a guy who's a threat to run it and catch it like Saquon coming out of the backfield, where he can break through that second level and take it to the house anytime he touches the ball? Not only does it keep defenses honest, they can't load the box with blitzers, right? But think of the play-action threat. Now, does Daniel Jones then have to execute? Absolutely. But if Daniel Jones can play at average to high average level, which he's already shown for stretches he can in his career as a first-year and second-year player behind a terrible offensive line without a running game, what's he going to do when this dude gets back? No, Saquon Barkley, because of what you mentioned about Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley is the key to this offense.
Max Kellerman.
Yes.
Because of everything you just said and how you've identified Saquon Barkley's greatness from the first day he arrived out of Penn State to wear a Giants uniform.
Saquon, yes.
You think you know something that defenses don't know? What are they going to do, Max? Because they've seen the vulnerabilities and the deficiencies with Daniel Jones, they're going to load the box, and they're going to say, let's make sure he don't beat us. Let's make sure if they're going to beat us, let Daniel Jones beat us. I'm not saying whether it's going to happen or not. I'm saying that's what makes Daniel Jones the key. Because you already
know. They're not loading the box.
Like, for example, you already know what Saquon Barkley can do. And what you're saying is, not only do we not trust Daniel Jones to not throw an interception, we don't trust him to hold on to the damn football.
Okay.
You got two reasons. You got two reasons to send bodies after Daniel Jones or send bodies into that backfield for the New York Giants. I'm basically using your point about the greatness of Saquon Barkley to explain why the focus has to be on Daniel Jones, because we could take Saquon for granted because we know what he's capable of. It's that damn Daniel Jones that we wondering about.
Stephen A., if we're saying, look, if you're saying Saquon can't hold on to the ball for Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones has a fumbling problem. Absolutely true. I'm not saying Daniel Jones isn't responsible for playing well. He absolutely is. I'm saying the opportunity will be there because of Saquon. And when you look at the revamped offense, the number of guys you bring in Galladay to supplement Slayton and Shepard and these guys. You have now a reliable veteran tight end to go with Ingram, who's a speedster. The Giants have weapons on offense everywhere you look. And Daniel Jones has already shown the ability to be accurate with the ball down the field to take advantage of them, particularly with the threat of Saquon. But Daniel Jones got to hold on to the ball. No one's arguing that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.